迎
Shagotam.
Welcome.
Herzlich willkommen.
Welcome.
UWC is much more than academic learning. Yes, the IB is a challenge, but the things that I learned that I value most are learned outside the classroom.
United World College is about intercultural understanding on a daily basis.
UWC supports me to achieve change.
As the principal of Atlantic College, I recognise that the founding principles back in the 1960s are as relevant today as they were then.
When I was younger, I thought that, going into politics and being the Prime Minister, I'd be able to solve all the problems that New Zealand had. And then, later on, it seemed that if you had a lot of money, then you'd be able to solve all those problems as well. I recognise now, I guess, later on that, if you really want to change how things are done, it comes down to what people think. Because what people do is really just a manifestation of what people think. And changing those underlying paradigms of thought, that is where the key changes will be made.
I'm really thankful that education changed my life for the better, And I always encourage young people in Swaziland and tell them that do the best. If you're offered a chance to go to school, do your best, and you can go places with your education, and you can become a useful citizen.
The UWC experience transformed my views of education and the importance of agriculture in a country like Belize.
When I went to UWC, it's like 200 kids from all over the world together for 2 years.
I wasn't alienated in this diversity because everyone had the mindset of all of us are different, and that holds true for everyone, and everyone should be respecting each other.
It was funny because I remember first 3 months in India, I basically cried like almost every day, which happened to many students, because if you are not used to seeing poverty in front of your eyes or like absolute misery in front of your eyes, it's like experience as nothing else, like your whole world gets shattered. It was in India that I realized I definitely want to save the world, as the motto of the UWC. I want to do something for other people. So yeah, I decided that I'm gonna stop crying and start guiding my life for that aim of being able to have some positive impact.
What makes TOA special is the ability for all of us to interact and change ideas and challenge each other and learn from each other as well. The world is very interconnected, and you can't solve it by being very narrowed. You need to be really flexible and open to solve the world's problems.
We can dance if we want to, we can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well they're no friends of mine. See, we can go where we want to, places they will never find. And we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind. We can dance. We can go when we want to, night is young and so am I. And we can dress real neat from our hearts to our feet and surprise them with a victory cry. Say, we can act if we want to, if we don't nobody will. And you can act real rude and totally removed, and I can act like an imbecile. I say, we can dance, everything's out of control. We can dance, we're doing it from pole to pole. We can dance, everybody look at your hands. We can dance, everybody's taking the chance.
I think it has a lot to do with tolerance
with being helpful, with being inclusive of people who are very different from you, and also having a sense of curiosity for different cultures, because you really need to have that sense of wanting to inquire about other people's lives and getting to know where they come from. That sense of curiosity will bring you far. Just to get a sense of what kinds of things make people happy, what kinds of things bother them, and what kinds of things in their culture help define them. These are all really interesting questions that really helped me during my time at UWC to get to know different people.
I was 16 when I met a Palestinian for the first time, my very first Palestinian. Khalil was from Hebron, and we were both students in an international school in Hong Kong. And we've often remarked at the irony of having to travel so far to meet someone who lives so close. I vividly remember our first meeting. We shook hands very nervously and were very polite and overly friendly. And as we introduced ourselves, the room got silent, and people just stared at us and held their breath, and they must have expected us to either start crying or start yelling and screaming at each other, but they had no such luck. For the entire first year, we kept a friendly distance. We avoided talking about any real issues, avoiding any topic that could cause tension. We had no struggle with emotion, no big dramatic moments of discovery, no heated arguments. And we're from the Middle East, where people tend to disagree and argue just for the sport of it. After a year, I felt exactly the same. And then I went home for the summer. And while at home, whenever I turned on the TV, opened a newspaper, turned on the radio, there was Hebron on the news. In fact, not a day would go by without a mention of Hebron on the news. And I thought, what a coincidence. I meet someone from there, and all of a sudden it becomes such a hot topic. And then I realized Hebron was always on the news. Nothing had changed there. It was me that was different. Before, when I heard news about Palestinians or what was going on over there, it had no effect on me. To put it very bluntly, I didn't care. To me, there might as well have been an ocean between us and them. But knowing Khalil altered my sensitivity. It readjusted my dial to notice things that I used to filter out. Hebron was no longer just some place that I've never seen. It was Khalil's hometown. And the Palestinians were no longer the other. They had a name and a face of someone with whom I shared a meal, with whom I studied for a math exam. I no longer thought of Palestinians as a people, but as people. That is the actual change that programs like New Story Leadership inspire. They enable you to step outside of your comfort zone and truly see and truly know the other side, as difficult as it may be. I didn't choose to care, I just did, simply by knowing Khalil. Since then, I have made conscious choices to not give in to the mentality of ignorance and denial.
Trying to do something in China, not only for us to obtain better and more good quality students for UWC, but also creating a small rippling effect in the community. The best of all, hopefully next year we will have our UWC in Beijing. We managed to convince a donor to donate a campus in Beijing to us for the Beijing UWC. The construction part is done already, and then after a few rounds of formality with UWC International Board, hopefully we can have our UWC up and running next year. I will update you later what's happening there. But in any case, you can see that what we are trying to do here, hopefully as a UWC alumni, we are not only benefiting ourselves, our UWC organization, but try to do a greater good for the society. And on this note, I hope you can share the same vision as we do and try to think of how you can do better, not only with your life, with UWC, but for a greater good in the society.
You have the potential, not only the incredible experience that LPC gives you, but you're also extremely intelligent, articulate, and mature human beings with a great sense of generosity and a great capacity for hope and for making the world a better place. So I would just take all of that and mobilize it for whatever your dreams are.